I lived in Colorado. I was in the military for 7 years.
Okay.
I had 3 different women move from Chicago to Colorado to be with me throughout that 7 years. And I was with other people.
That's a nice ratio.
Yeah, that's good ratio.
3 out of 7.
To pick up your life. And I wasn't even like no general. Nigga.
Nah.
I'm a senior airman. I'm in debt.
Oh, of course.
Nah, bitch, quit your job, leave your family.
Mike, you straight from the south side. Mike, I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
Tell you what, because we already into the bread and butter of the conversation. Welcome back, Real Rap Podcast. I am almost positive we on episode 45. We're gonna be real light with the intros right now, because that's Jamal Guichon. Mm-hmm. All right, and he's already on an episode, so go back in the archives and see it if you want to find out the who's, what's, why's, where's, and how's. And we have Reckless Rob. We're about to get to know him.
We in here. We out here.
We got some other nicknames that are wow. So we're going to dive right into it, but we're going to get back to our conversation. Like, share, subscribe. Love y'all. And we have a studio audience, so if you hear a little chatter in the background, it is what it is. But all right, so that was your first base, was Peterson?
Yeah, first base was Peterson. That was.
And then what years was it?
I got there 07 to 2003.
Oh, okay.
And then you was there.
You was there. Damn, I was there 4 years before you got there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm old
okay.
shit.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
I heard that Shriever ended up being like its own legitimate base. Back when I was there, Shriever was just the facility.
Right.
And then and then get out of there.
Yeah. They started pulling more shit out of Cheyenne Mountain and then putting it in Shriever. They was doing some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of that shit.
No, this nigga.
I was drunk.
This nigga was
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Rob was the kind of friend that it was like, it felt good having Rob as your friend because you was like, at least I ain't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To your girl, you could be like, oh man, I ain't.
He the measuring stick. Yeah.
That's a fucked up.
like
I ain't that bad.
This nigga was that bad.
I was. No, I'm saying as you.
Oh yeah,
I ain't that bad. I ain't Rob.
Yeah.
Once we was moving, I was moving, and I was like, all right, I need y'all niggas to help me move.
Yeah.
What I loved about the military is like, if you're in Chicago, it's like, oh, you a nigga from the north side, you from the suburbs, you from the south side. But when you're in the military, you just a black dude. And you hang out with the other black dudes. Like, that's what you do.
Like, the division line is between service members and whatnot. You're like, ew, you a dirty Army dude?
Yeah. Grimy.
Yeah.
Icky,
don't trust the Marine. Don't trust the Navy dude.
Exactly. But if you a black dude from D.C. and you're a black dude from Texas, we don't know what the measuring stick for those local areas. I don't know your lingo. So we just black dudes now. Yeah. So that was good, being in the motherfucking in the military. I don't know where I was going.
It'd be like four of us. It'd be like four of us in the car, and everybody from somewhere else. It'd be like one cat from Alabama with golds in his mouth. He the one that got the yammy in the trunk. It'd be one cat from like South Carolina, and then one cat from like New York, and then we all just rolling around.
Yeah, everybody got different slang and shit like that. So,
but it was. I mean, Colorado was. You think it's peaceful. Like, everybody has this, like, hippie mentality about Colorado. There's some wild people out in Colorado. But then again, I was young. Yeah.
It was just the niggas at those clubs. Was the clubs, what was the club?
What, like Icons or something?
Icons. What was the other one at the end of
I don't even remember the names no more, but I used to,
Soto's, always a shooting.
Did you ever go to the church in Denver?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where the hoes was at. Wherever the hoes was at, we was at.
I only went there once.
You looking at the tag team champions, nigga, from 2008, 2012.
Hall and Nash.
Yeah.
I only went to the church once, and I was like 19 or 20, so I wasn't even, because the church had the 3 levels. And I think like the bottom level was like you had to be 21 or whatever. And I went there with my first shirt. We went there with basically our whole squad. I went there with my first shirt, and I was the only one underage, but we all wanted to go to the hip hop room downstairs. Yeah. We went to the pause this whole thing. We went to the bathroom, and he like wetted his hand, and then we back to back our hands so we can get me the 21 stamp. My first shirt. The dude is like,
that nigga, he's supposed to be the one.
My supervisor.
He basically PR.
Yeah, he's like, this is how it go. This is how it go.
Man, but look, just even like getting there when somebody was like, "Hey, we going into the church," I was like, "Out in Denver? All right, it's a club. All right, that's an odd name." And then you get there and you go, "Oh,
yeah, it's an actual motherfucker.
It's a whole." With like, I think they took the pews out or whatever, but they still got the stained glass and whatnot. And it's like, oh wow.
What was the other one up there? It was like 4 levels with a fucking.
Yeah, I don't remember the names of the ones in Denver. I would
just
already.
Yeah,
when I was in Denver, I would already be drunk, and then I'm just along for the ride at that point.
I love that. That's his backstory.
Yeah. I did a lot of drinking back then.
Yeah. Like, did you like ever cut back, or you just like?
I cut back recently.
Yeah.
Like 35.
Yeah, dig that.
All right.
What do you think? What do you think people get wrong the most about the military if they've never been a part of the military life?
Well, in the Air Force, they think everybody fly planes.
They definitely do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate
100%.
correcting them too.
100%.
I hate correcting them.
As soon as you say Air Force,
if I fucking flew planes, you think I'd be doing comedy, nigga?
yeah,
all right.
The fuck?
yeah. I'd be saying welcome to JetBlue.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or I'd still be bombing niggas. Why would I ever stop that? Why would I ever get out the game? What?
Yeah.
Flying the best jets? Why would I fly JetBlue? I'm flying F-35. Y'all got a Transformer? What y'all got back there? Y'all got an Optimus Prime?
Yeah, let me get a star screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hell no, I'm never getting out. Yeah. And you just bombing niggas that don't even got the same shit as you.
No, I mean, unless you leave it over there.
Yeah.
When you skedaddle.
And that was our old shit. That's how good we have our shit. It was like, you can have them toys.
Yeah, you can have that.
I mean, you saying that, but if somebody gave me they old like iPhone 10, it's still an iPhone 10, bro. You could do a whole lot.
Not when you got the chip.
Fair enough.
We got the chip over here. We got white folks, Chinese folks. We got all the peoples. We got all the minds together. So it was sad leaving all that shit. Mostly because like how quickly they took over. It was like 10 days. Mm-hmm. And what I didn't realize, like whenever somebody asked me, like, "Oh, did you ever get deployed?"
No.
He was deployed. Yeah. How many times?
3 times.
3 times. I got deployed twice. Once to South America, which was mad fun. Once to Afghanistan, not as fun. And when you go and people ask you like, you know, why? What do you think? I'm like, man, that shit kind of was like for no reason. Yeah. It's like bullshit. You know, we did it for no reason. You did it for oil. You did it for whatever. But then when it got taken over, you realize like, oh shit, for the 20 years we occupied there, like women could read. They didn't have to wear the fucking, you know what I mean, all the cover-ups. People like were treated like people, even though we was doing a conflict. Maybe we weren't there for the right reasons, but there were some positive byproducts of that. And all that was wiped away. And then when you realize like when I went over to Afghanistan, there was this dude, every fucking lunch break, I would have tea with this nigga at his shop on base, every lunch break. And he was like the same age as me, and this motherfucker was like clearly gay as hell. All right, he was like dancing around, grooving, you know what I mean? Just a happy dude. And he was a shopkeeper, and you can tell he didn't want to be a shopkeeper. That's just what his dad was, you know? And I didn't want to be in the military. That's just what my dad was. So it's like we connected on this. And then when that shit happened, I'm like, damn, that nigga's dead. Anybody who worked with Americans, dead. You know, that shit is sad, bro.
I remember seeing them, the videos during the escape and seeing like like the mind state you gotta be in, bro, to grab onto the wheel of an airplane like you Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. Yeah. And it ain't nothing but desert. Ain't even no water below you.
If you made it though. If he got in that bitch, people would have been like, oh shit, this nigga Tom Cruise. Like that nigga would have been a superhero, bro.
But that is, I mean,
we would have put that nnigga in Fast 11.
Oh yeah.
We would have put that nigga in the new Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's a superhero.
The Red Bull Challenge.
He would have went on tour. Do it again, nigga.
They would have had him in Jackass season 7. Nah, man, but that was wild. When you crossed over into the civilian life, what was that like?
man.
Did you guys grow up in a military family?
Nah.
No.
Kind of. I mean, my dad was in the military, but I wouldn't say it was a military family. Like, by the time he only did 4 years, and by the time I lived with him, he was already out and a civilian.
Okay.
I think I grew up with like those values, but I wasn't like moving, base to base. And shit.
Yeah.
No, it took me a minute to like get used to not being in the military. Because after I got out of the military, I still worked in the military as a civilian cop. And then after that, I was like trying to figure out a way to get back in the military. It took me a while to like just settle in and just be like, man, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure something out. Let's start a business. I started truck driving and I figured it out. Like, I'm just like that's in the past. It's like like an old ex-girlfriend. It's like you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Yeah, it was hard. I used to compare everything to like when I was in the military or my friends. I think the biggest thing was like my friends in the military versus like this other world that I'm in, comedy, and how differently these people act. Like, this is my friend from the military. We're still best friends to this day. There's dudes in the military. Like, I did a special at Zany's a couple years ago. I don't talk to these motherfuckers. We send each other fucking memes occasionally. Yeah. They got hotel rooms. They put themselves up. I only saw them the day I did this. But, like, that's how it is. They show up. Military people, you can go to fucking Delaware. A nigga crash on his couch. No problem.
Yeah, this is like, as a truck driver, like, that's what we doing right now. Me and my wife, we just like, call Jamal. Let's go hang out. Like, the military, it's like lifelong friends. All my lifelong friends are from the military.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's its own self-contained unit. I grew up in a military family, so as far back as I can remember, it's this country, that country, this state, that state. And it's all in that military bubble to the point that when I got out, like I had no concept of civilian life. Like where to shop, where you get your clothes at, like how to interact with people. You know what I mean? Because I'm used to the BX. I'm used to the commissary.
You was really
I'm
used
to I had the full like institution. Did you see that? Nerves of steel, man. They was kind of shook.
I was kind of shook. I didn't even know a picture was up there, nigga.
Remember which military member you want when the war go down?
Like Kobe when he got the ball pushed.
Yeah.
Fuck that bullshit, man.
I clutched my pearls. Yeah. Oh, good heavens. What the fuck?
Heavens to Betsy, that ass. Nah, but yeah, it was like hard to cross over, and I also remember like when I was in that military bubble, like either as a dependent or when I joined the service, like looking at, not in a derogatory way, but looking at civilians like you're different. You know what I mean? Like in whatever bubble that you're in, I think it's kind of the same. Like if you're in just purely the comedy world, you're looking at people who don't do comedy as, all right, you're different. We're not on the
other
same.
People.
Yeah. You relate to your peer group or whatever. But that was a hard transition, man. Yeah. Like a super hard transition.
Can you tell us what years you were in?
I did 2. And they politely asked me to leave.
The first shirt was on your side.
Yeah, in that situation, the other one wasn't. So I got out under honorable conditions, but I was in from 99 to 01, 2 days to the like actual anniversary. So like August 13th of 99 and then August 15th. Of 01.
Damn, right before 9/11.
Literally right before they put the stop loss on.
And we should investigate this nigga.
Nah,
he do.
Pull up
I'm out of here.
My phone records. My phone records got College Shake. College Shake, the homie. Like, yo, can you explain this? Nah, but so I did my tech school. Here's how bogus I was. I did my tech school on Vandenberg Air Force Base, and I passed my tech school in like the first 3 months I was there. But I was such a knucklehead in high school that it took me the next 9 months to wait for my security clearance to come in. Damn. And then I did, I was a year in Colorado, and I was getting in so much, like the peer group. I'm talking like I got there, and I'm going to the dorms, and I think it's my first day. I meet this Puerto Rican kid from Hialeah, Florida, off the chain, and we started getting in trouble from then. And then he showed me the rest of the gang, and from that moment on, it was a lot of questionable activities.
God damn.
Yeah, and then my job was too high profile.
Jumped you in?
My job, I mean, we got in. I'll tell you what, my peer group or the people that I was in, most of them ended up arrested and in Fort Leavenworth. Once I got out, I mean, it made the news. Yeah. Like we made my little peer group made the news, and then one of my guys who ended up getting pinched. I got called back to be a character reference. I got called back to be a character reference in this trial.
He was in the mafia.
Exactly. Got pinched. Once Tommy got pinched.
Yo, I'm telling you, it was. I ran with a crazy squad, but my job was so high profile. And I had like a secret security. I was like a liability. So they was like, hey, you know, like you haven't done an ultimate thing to get out, but this isn't really working. So like, what y'all?
What did y'all get it? Like when we said we were getting in trouble, it was really just getting drunk and bitches.
We were just talking to girls.
Y'all
was selling dope.
You could pull up the news files.
Pull up the news files.
I'm documented.
I'm
documented.
Man.
Once Tommy got pinched, the whole organization.
That's almost literally how it went down, bro.
Damn.
It's almost literally how it went down. Yeah, it's not a super proud moment for me though. You know what I mean? Because like my pop was military service, and I was a knucklehead, like I said, in high school. So that was kind of like one of the only options. It wasn't going to be college because I did too much in school, and so it was just like, all right, join the military. So when when it didn't work out, when I ended up doing all the dumb stuff and got kicked me out, it's one of the least proud moments of my life because my pop's superstar. Yeah. In the service, you know what I mean? Name rings bells, gets all the awards. Yeah. First, guy like this to do this, the only, brother that's in a, you know what I mean? Like he was in intelligence. Mm-hmm. He speaks Russian. He flies on a jet. You know what I mean? He's in the hot zones, and he's a rock star. And then I go in there and I just
bag of ass.
Yo, acting.
It's not like nothing. He could have saved you either. Like
came in. Here's how bogus it was. He could have saved me.
Oh, okay.
But I was already so knuckleheady that when like my first shirt and the people was like, yo, like what's your move? What you want to do? I was like, He came in at the last minute after I'd already like put the steps in motion to be like, all right, let's just shake hands and walk away. He came in after that and went in and started talking to people, and they was like, well, yeah, if you would have got here like 2 days ago, right.
We got him with the gun. Nigga.
Yeah, but he already shot himself in the foot, man. One of the least things. I mean, it hits me. It hits me to this day.
Was that a catalyst for you to change? Did you change after that?
No. That tragically enough, that wasn't even like rock bottom for me, bro.
Because it's interesting to hear because when on the way over here, I was just telling them like, this nigga's just a real nice guy. Because this is my perception of you. I don't really know. We don't know each other out of. But I was like, it seems everybody likes you. You're the type of dude like the personality hire at work.
Yeah.
You can go around to all the cubicles and everybody's like, oh, it's Mike. Yeah. How was your weekend, Mike? Like
straight up.
So to hear that, like, hey, I was pulling them things out on people. I killed a prostitute for no reason. She was pregnant with my buddy's child.
I mean, that's excessive. That's excessive.
But something like it, right?
But I got I definitely like wild. Past is wild. You know what I mean? And
so when did you change? Like how much further did you go down that path after the military?
I was a super duper alcoholic from like a pretty young age. Yeah. And then like it really accelerated when I joined the military, and then that fueled a lot of my actions. Just being a derelict, but I was a jerk in high school. You know, like fun guy for the people, but as far as academics and all that other good stuff, no.
Was it because you weren't interested? Were you like rebelling against your dad type shit?
It just wasn't for me. I was hyperactive. I was always getting in trouble. Like if I was in class, it was to be funny to everybody else. Yeah. So I got expelled twice. I ended up getting shipped to Marine boot camp when I was 16 at Camp Pendleton in San Diego. Like I'm out there with nothing but Mexican and black kids from LA with tattoos on their neck and bodies already doing Marine drill stuff for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then came back and it was supposed to straighten me up, and not quite, man. But yeah.
It's weird
I was that
we
guy.
were like, hey, these kids are going down the wrong path. They might be criminals. They're displaying violent tendencies. Let's make them into killers. Let's give them the top killing training
let's train
in the
them.
world.
The Marines was looking for me on my graduation day. They knew my name and found me and was like, "Hey, we heard good things about you. You've been in the woo woo woo.
We heard you're angry.
Yeah,
Let's put a gun in your hand.
There was this one time that
get you to kill for America.
One of the and I need to get y'all lessons that you learned from the military. One of the dopest lessons I learned from the military, and you was like, when I got there, it was that sense of brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like you know, typically you're gonna find your group of people, and chances are a lot of you guys are gonna look the same or whatever. But in the bigger scheme of things, you kick it with anybody and everybody, because you know you're in the military. Your squad's gonna be all different colors, man, woman, this, that. When I got expelled from school and I got sent down to Camp Pendleton when I was 16, there was one time we was on a bus. We was on the way to Demolition Day. This all 15, 16, 17 troubled kids. And we were getting sent to Demolition Day. So the real Marines was gonna they were gonna blow up stuff. They were gonna set off like a napalm bomb, all kinds of stuff. They were teaching us how to shoot M16s. It was crazy.
True.
And
wasting taxpayer dollars.
we're on the way there. I get into a beef with this Mexican kid named Smiley on the bus.
No.
And we started mixing it up through some hands. Everybody, you know, they break it up or whatever. And we was getting racist with each other. And then, you know, all the black and all the white, or black and the other Mexican kids picked, you know, had their side, of course, and they egging it on. And then, like, after our fight, 2 other guys got into a fight on the bus on the way there. So we get there, everything's broken up. You know, Marines do Marine stuff. Get us all off the bus. Send everybody over there to watch grenades and C4 and the coolest thing you could ever think of when you're 16 years
Get
old.
you charged the fuck up.
Pull the other 4 of us that got into a fight off the bus and was like, no. You come with us. Walked us around the other side of the bus so we couldn't even see all the fun and excitement and the high power fireworks, and made us. Did you ever do like the 4-way push-ups? They was like, yo, when you're in the Marines, ain't no black, ain't no. He was saying it was like a white DT or DI, and he was saying all the words. Ain't no spics, ain't no niggas, ain't no doo doo doo.
He just wanted to say it.
We're all. I've
been waiting all day.
He put his feelings into it. He was like, we are all brothers and doo 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 and da 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 da.
We're all niggers here. We're all niggers here.
We all love watermelon.
Niggers. All right?
We all eat tacos. And so he made us all get on the ground, and the way you did it is the person, like, you lay in a square, head to toe, head to toe, head to toe, and then that person puts his shoes on your back, and you put your shoes on, and you all do push-ups together, so your feet are elevated, and you got somebody else's weight on your back. Wow. And he was like, that you guys weren't together. We're not we were there. But end of the day after that, you know, like, me and Smiley was cool, the other guys was cool, and things panned out, and, you know, we evened out or whatever. But what was the good lessons that you took away from the military?
I mean, a lot of the lessons I learned from my grandfather before I went joined the military.
He was in the service?
Nah, he just was like, just the way he
Solid
grew up,
dude.
just, yeah. So, like, just being, like, on point, being strict, and getting up early in the morning, and just being dedicated to whatever you got going on. Like, my grandfather taught me that. Like, when I joined the military, it's like, it was just easy. I didn't, like, now, even now, like, I can get up and just do what I got to do. Like, the military didn't teach me that. I guess the main thing the military taught me, kind of like you were just saying, just like meeting different people and learning how to communicate with all different types of people. Like, I could talk to the redneck. I could talk to the Hispanic guy. I trained drivers for a while. I trained of it, and like, it would be like every month I have a random guy in my truck with me. And that military experience I was able to use those lessons, like, to train different types of people every month. So I was like one of the better trainers at my company. Every time they sent me somebody, they would be able to learn how to drive the truck.
You got an open mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I sit there and listen to country music with the country guy.
Yeah.
I listen to like you know what I'm saying, like reggae or whatever with the Jamaican guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I just got along.
I started
with
playing foosball in Colorado, bro.
Yeah.
That was what the squad was on.
Yeah, we play like beach volleyball or some shit. Like
yeah,
we do whatever.
I was playing beach volleyball, I suppose.
Ping pong. I still got a purple belt in ping pong, bro.
Yeah. So this nigga definitely talk to anybody. Like, and I hate that shit. I hate just talking to. I hate like surface level conversations, I guess.
It's the
Like I'm not that good at small talk. It's not that I'm not willing to talk to someone, but
I get social anxiety, bro. If I'm not like on stage, like they had like the Christmas party at Laugh Factory, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like I know all of you, and if we're in the green room, we'll go crazy. But it was like 5,000 people. And
but it's also
like,
so fake. This is every one of those conversations at the Christmas party. Hey, what's up, man? What you been on? What shows you been on?
Yeah.
What you got coming up? And it's not really an actual like, hey man, what you watching?
Yeah.
What have you read lately?
When was the last time you cried?
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. I could go with that, but like it could even be just simple. I don't know anything, but it's like I hate when you're at work and people are talking about work.
Yeah.
We can talk about anything, nigga. While we trapping, our body's already here. Now you want to cage us in this. I hate that shit.
I think about those people at the same time. Like I wouldn't call sympathy is the wrong word, right? But I'll know some cats from like my gig, and it almost seems like the gig is their release because from whatever responsibilities they have at their house, wherever they see their life going, and however old they are, they might just be looking at that 401k in retirement or getting a promotion or whatever, and that really is like, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like,
no,
I tip my hat to them. For me, I'm looking at other avenues and trying to expand that way. But for somebody that's their thing, like I get it, but at the same time, like I'm with you. It's like I don't know how deep into that conversation I can. You want to talk about emails, bro?
I think the biggest lesson I got from the military was how much we're actually all the same when you strip away like in the military, everybody gets paid the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your job is. So like you had a high classified job, you and the first year fucking cook.
Oh yeah.
Same amount of money. Yeah. You and the firefighter, and then you talk to each other. Like they even have all the new airmen go through a little orientation together for like 4 weeks. So that doesn't happen in the town. You don't get, hey, all the people are graduating and going into the workforce. You're gonna all kick it together for 4 weeks, get to know each other. Yeah. So we ended up with friends in like nursing, friends that worked in finance. You knew people all over, so you weren't like looking at these people like, oh, you're not judging them.
Yeah,
you're not judging them based on a fucking class system. The military also really gave me a lot of confidence in myself.
Okay.
Like the way I grew up was terrible, and I always kind of thought I was tough and a leader. And when I joined the military, like in tech school, like the tech school security forces squadron is like 1,000 students, and I ended up being like our little red rope for like the 1,000 students.
Oh, okay, red rope. I ain't heard that word.
Yeah, no, in a minute.
Bro.
Exactly. But and then when I got to my base, like I was always someone who like would speak my mind.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what rank I was, like I would always be like, nah, I don't like that shit. I don't like this motherfucker. And it was actually my tech sergeant who got me into comedy while I was in the military.
Okay.
Because he was like, I was just roasting people in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. We're arming up with our guns. Right. I'm just like, this nigga ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, you're funny. You got to go to this open mic. You got to go to this thing. And it just really gave me a lot of confidence because it's like, this dude is like a white dude from a podunk town in Texas. And he thinks I'm funny. It's not just like niggas who look like me. Niggas from my neighborhood.
Somebody from everywhere in the military. What's your wildest, one of your wildest, first one that comes to mind, basic training story, bro?
Oh, my favorite one. I already know this.
I love basic training stories.
My favorite one. There's this nigga from his name is Gary. He's from the South Side,
Okay.
He's like 18, 19. He got all these tattoos, muscular dude. And when we go off to basic training, because, you know, they're taking all the kids from the Chicagoland area, we got to go on the plane together. We're on the buses together. And we ended up in the same basic training little group together. Yeah. The whole time he's talking shit about how hard he is, blah, blah, blah. He's tough. He's trying to like, oh, you from the suburbs. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm never been the biggest dude. And, you know, I grew up in the suburbs, but I'm also crazy. Yeah. That's the number one thing. Like, I used to get in a lot of fights. And I'm just, you know, he's just talking shit. And I already grew up with a military dad that was beating my ass. I'm like, bro, they can't even touch you in boot camp. I'm not scared whatsoever. This is a farce to me. I'm about to get 3 square meals. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to sleep in a bed. You know what I mean? I was sleeping on the floor. Like, this is about to be sweet. Like, this is about to be awesome. It's like fucking like play camp to me. So we get there, and the first day they get everybody in the showers, get everybody out. They're yelling at you. Everybody's like flustered. And then here come Gary. He think it would be funny to be we're all lined up to go to breakfast. You know, you got to count off.
Oh, yeah.
We're counting off in line, and he's getting out the shower in his towel. He's like dripping wet. He's like, sorry, y'all. It's a whole, and then, like all the drill sergeants just like, all right. They get on the pad. We're lining up for breakfast, and they all get on his ass. Gary pisses himself.
Are you kidding me?
Pisses himself.
Yo, seeing people freeze up.
And he pissed himself, and then like 2 days later, like we had like the eye test, and they had to give him like the big ass BCGs.
Oh, the BCGs.
And then it just totally emasculated that nigga, and I was like, yeah, Gary. Like that's what it made me realize. Like, oh, we're equal in here.
Yeah.
Fuck your past, and that shit don't matter no more. Tough is tough. Like respect is respect. Like that's what really made me be like, oh, I don't have to be this kid that went through these things from where I'm from. I'm now this nigga. Right. Yeah. And I just started acting like that from then.
Well, the design is to break everybody down and then, you know, rebuild you back or whatnot. So I mean,
it worked on me.
Watching
I was feeling that shit, nigga.
Watching some of the people, I dig, but watching some of the people when the DIs, the TIs would do the you remember your TIs? I had Sergeant Thigpen, we used to call him Thugpen, and Sergeant Howes. So Thigpen was a big country corn-fed white boy from, I don't know, one of them places that corn feeds him. Yeah. And then
Nebraska,
Sergeant,
Iowa.
Sergeant Thigpen Sergeant Howes was a black lady that was 5'10", but really 7'3". You know what I mean?
She was the worst.
She was
because
the worst.
The black women TIs, they had the best roast.
Not only did she have the best roast, but she always kept her manicure done, and like her nails was a little long. So when she was giving you the biz, she'd have a finger in your face, and a nail is like scraping the tip of your nose, and she just dressing you down, bro. Yeah, man.
My drill sergeant, they weren't that. My TIs weren't that influential, but I in tech school are. You know, you kind of have like it's called an MTL that you report to, like especially for the roles we always reported. And mine was this chick. She used to be a stripper. She was Puerto Rican and black from New York. And I remember she would always wear Jordans with her uniforms. And in tech school, I was going through this thing where like I had to tell your peers what to do, but I was also one of the peers learning this thing. And I realized like just because they did this thing where we got to this new section of classes of like where we learned how to shoot guns, and the first day there, the instructors didn't like me. They're like, you got an attitude, you're cocky, blah blah. They took me out the classroom, and they let my group of 100 students, they let them vote if they wanted to keep me, and like 57 voted for me, but like 40 something didn't, and I had to. That fucks with your mind. Like these are the only niggas you know, and I'm 19 and I have to deal with this. And I remember she just pulled me aside. She's like, "Look, nigga, I chose you because I thought like you don't have to be the biggest. You're that guy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Don't be a bitch. Don't bitch up now. Like, and she's from New York. Like, I'm not. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. She's like, you're gonna fucking do it, Sergeant Davis. And I was just like, man, like she used to be a stripper. But now she's this. Yeah. Fuck off. Like it doesn't matter what you were before.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when they give you your uniform in stages. First it's like blank, and then they give you like the United States Air Force, they sold that on it. I remember when they sold the United States Air Force, I went in the urinal and cried. I was like, oh my God.
I'm in here. I made it.
I'm in this bitch. I'll kill for these niggas. I'll kill for these niggas. Like, I like, this is before you know it's bullshit. It takes a couple years for you to be like, oh, like, this is bullshit. And there's an industrial, you know, but the feeling at first is like, whoa, bro, I'm in this.
When you say it's bullshit, expand on that.
You realize, like, you know, every war ever is rich people, powerful people taking disparaged people, poor people, and making them fight because they don't like what the guys over there said, or our religion, or we want money. It's never for. I thought you can be a hero. I'm a dumb nigga like that.
You thought there was a good versus evil to war?
I thought it was a good. Yes, yes, I'm a dumbass. I thought it was a good versus evil thing. Like I was always grew up like that.
Yeah,
like I always grew up like loving comic books. The first thing I wanted to do was be a cop. My dad was a cop.
Yeah.
So I thought like you can like save people. The first thing before I joined the military, I was going to school to be a kindergarten teacher. I was like, oh, I can be a good black role model for kids. And I'm like, oh, this shit is boring. Like, let me do something else. So at first I'm like, man, you know, I'm going to kill some niggas for America, for this democracy.
That's a giant leap from kindergarten teacher.
Yeah. It didn't take much. You know what I mean? It was already in me. Like, that's what I really wanted to do.
I'll give you love until 6th grade, but after high school, I'll blow you motherfuckers away.
Yeah. I was holding the beast back, nigga. Like, that's what I wanted to do the whole time. And when I took the ASVAB, like, I actually scored pretty good. I scored like in the 82 like percentile. Okay. I had a lot of jobs open to me, but I was like, nah, nigga, I'm here.
Yeah. My recruiter did me so bogus.
That's what.
Yeah.
How'd your recruiter do you?
Yeah.
Not because he, you know, we're doing the list or whatever, and I picked the brain dead jobs, like 1 through 6. And he was like, how about, I picked like admin jobs. I was like, I want to be in the office. Wait, where's the tech school at? Georgia? Okay.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
I could do it. Da-da-da-da-da. And then like number 6, he was like, how about we put satellite operator there? Just to fill a spot. And he was like, and he was like, when do you wanna go? I was like, man, give me like 6-8 months or something, you know, just to cool out, just to relax. Man, as soon as I signed that paperwork, bro, like 48 hours later, you got satellite system ops and you're leaving in like 4 days. It's like, oh,
that's probably because it could never find niggas to fill those spots.
Nah,
it's hard. I wish, like, looking back at it, I knew what I knew now. That's the catch-22 about the military is you don't know about civilian life. So you don't have the hindsight to be like, oh my God, if I stayed with being a fucking satellite operator, how I can use that on the outside. If I would have went into it like on not my fucking Captain America shit and been a fucking regular human about it, I could have actually did a really good technical job and had that transfer to the outside. But you're just not thinking, and then everybody with you doesn't know either because they're also in the military. Yeah. Nobody knows what's on the other side of that wall. Right. No one knows what's awaiting you.
I mean, to go back to it, though, I'm not proud of the road I took, but I'm proud of, like, the path that I'm on now. You know what I mean? Cool. I went through not only what I went through myself, but what I put my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, you know, everybody through, just being a derelict. To get to where I'm at now you switch it back, and if I would have buckled down or whatever, took like some Adderalls or Ritalin and just been like, all right, this is what I'm doing, I'd be making a little bit of coin right now, doing that and responding to emails or doing whatever. But personally, I'd be miserable. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. It just so happened that the path I had to take to get to where I'm at now really like screwed some people over, you know, in the short, medium, sometimes in the long term. But it's a hell of a ride.
I don't know where the quote is from, but there's like this movie quote that I like you don't know the violence that it took for me to become myself. Like, you don't know.
Sound like some John Wick shit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like some evil shit.
My
Yeah.
That nigga.
Like, you don't know what it's, takes for me to get to this fucking point right here. Even from the outside looking in, you're like.
So what's your ultimate goal then? Like, the path that you want? What are you trying to, like, what do you think accomplishment-wise in the next 10, 20 years? Like,
I mean, on a 10-year scale, this is like is monetized. I have enough people that want to see the content that I'm trying to provide, that'll help support me. My comedy career be what it is, and I'm living off of myself, my entertainment, man. Those kinds of goals, man. Being off the being a role player in somebody else's dreams, goals, and aspirations has for me personally. And that's not even to say that I'm a natural. So like when Jamal was talking just now, and he had that back and forth with the Puerto Rican
Taryn Davis.
Extra, yeah. What I took away from that is that, I mean, a little under half of the people wanted to vote him out, and a little over half wanted to keep him in. And she was like, "Yo, get your shit together. I chose you for a reason." What I took from that was he's a leader, and learning how to be a leader, even if you're naturally born a leader, you're gonna be divisive. You're not gonna have everybody agree with you. Leaders don't have everybody agree with them in order to be. I mean, Steve Jobs, poll anybody that he made multi-millionaires. Probably 75% of them like, I hate his fucking guts. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, that was what he was taking. Now, me personally, I've always been more of a solo guy, just moving around a lot, in my upbringing and the kind of person I am, my anxieties and whatnot. I've always been more of a solo operator. If I'm not on stage, I can talk to comics because I love comics or whatever. I can have conversations with I love conversations with people in the right context, man. But I've never been a natural born leader, and I don't have a problem with saying it. So if you watch Game of Thrones, if we all got to pick our roles, I think, Jamal's going to want to be at the throne, right, holding down dragons and shit. I'm going to want to be the dude with the little hand pin.
Yeah.
That's down in
Don't do that.
Down in the cellar having the real conversations. Like, the king's busy flying his dragons and shit. Here's what we about to do. Like in The Godfather, I'd be the consigliere. That's naturally who I am. I don't want the crown. It's too many arrows and targets on the crown's back, bro. He got too many responsibilities. You got to go out there and make people you got to have 47 out of 100 not like you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't deal with that kind of pressure. I'd rather be the hey, King, what do you think about this, that, and the third? Yeah, chop bro head off. All right. Hey, we're having a meeting, y'all. Everybody that's ever had their head chopped off, keep standing. But if you haven't, sit down. Tim, keep standing. Guards,
I feel that. I think I've learned, honestly, to be like more solo within comedy. I think I was trying to that's another lesson I guess I learned, or adjustment from the military life to civilian life. In the military, when someone sees like a leader, it doesn't necessarily have to be about rank. Yeah. Or the dude who knows everything. It could just be like the group. Like when I met Rob, he's older than me. He outranked me. But I was always kind of like, I don't know, I'm a little like, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's fuck these bitches. I like to plan shit. I have a plan. And the niggas around me weren't ever like, well, wow, who does this guy think he is? Everybody always just roll with it and just fully allowed me to be myself. Yeah. In comedy, I've tried to bring that same thing, and it's been very divisive. It's been very like...
comedy is a solo sport, bro.
It's a solo sport. And I think at first I was trying to because I was trying to film things, produce shows. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it with this team of people. We're all going to do it together. Yeah. I'm going to pour into these people. And, recently I've learned, like, you know what? For this thing, those qualities that I have don't work.
Yeah. As a leader, though, like, now that you see that, you can put to the side, like, you got to be a good leader to choose your followers.
True.
Like, and maybe your followers can't be comedians, but it could be the man that work on the mic stand. He can set up the stage for you. He can record for you or something. You need to learn how to build a team as a leader.
Yeah.
And the military, they force you. This is your team.
Yeah.
Teach you the structure.
Yeah. This is who's gonna do this.
Yeah.
I think that too, because like every comedian's like, even if you're working on something in your mind, and rightfully so, you're the hero of your story.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I'm the guy.
Supremely. Yeah.
And I think recently I've learned, kind of the hard way, like some people around me didn't like me. They liked what I can do for them.
Oh yeah.
And when that stopped, the friendship stopped, which is fine. Like I think it was really just more of a lesson learned for me. Yeah. I think like, hey, you got to focus on your own shit. You got to do your own thing.
Yeah, and then that's when people latch on, is when they see that there's food on the plate. I think in comedy, it's almost a rule of thumb. The personality type that it takes to want to be a comedian is anti-structure, anti-job, anti-supervisor, anti-vice president of HR wants to talk to you about what I said. Are you kidding me? So. There's definitely qualities you could take away from the military, and if you do, like Rob was saying, if you do end up getting a structured group of folks around you, those natural proclivities that you have to be a leader, with the right finesse will rise to the top. I saw like a clip from who was that, Jocko Willenick? He ex-Navy SEAL or whatever, right? And he said they went on one of their first missions together that was a legit mission with the team. I think it was his first mission. So it's like 5, 6, 7, 8 Navy SEALs. Nothing's been established. They just come out of training. This is their number one first mission. They all get like airdropped or, movie scene, rope, jump down a helicopter onto this ship, and they're about to go do Navy SEAL shit. And he said they're sitting around. They're all there. Head count's there. And they're just kind of waiting around. And then he was just like, all right, Johnson, Peterson, Craig, take the left flank, 4 stop, blah, 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 whatever, and he hand symbol, and he just started telling people what to do. Like, nobody had established anything up to that point. Nobody gave him a rule book or nothing. Yeah. He just got there, and when nobody was taking the initiative, it naturally came up into him. And then from there, from there, he naturally became, like, leadership roles, and then that became his thing. But they left it to them to decide what it is, and it's naturally in certain people, and I commend them for that, because it's and I think it's good. Like if you're naturally not a leader, there's definitely times that I'm gonna be put in leadership positions, and then I'll do it. I'll do my best. Not naturally what I want to do. I have other avenues, and I think if naturally you're not a leader, if naturally you're a production guy, you're an editor, you're a follow-up guy, you're a whatever it is, embrace that.
Oh, yeah, play your role. Yeah. I think with leadership, I think often it gets like I don't like how it's like associated with like boss, the person in charge. To me, it's the person that pulls everybody together and all the ideals together so we can make a group decision. It's really just a communicator. Yeah. I'm just the main point of contact for everybody. I'm just fucking quarterbacking. Exactly. It's not the motherfucker who's in charge. Look at me. I'm not one of those guys. Like I think that's what kind of combats with me in comedy. Like I'd rather like you get the spotlight. I'm an assist person. Yeah. And in comedy, it's like hey, my next show, I have trouble doing that. I have trouble with the self-promotion. I like being on stage, but I don't necessarily like being the guy. I'm not, I'm not a leader.
I find that it's hard. I find that it's hard to separate myself from my own what it is that I'm doing. I've seen success in people. There's definitely people out there that's taking their own camera, setting it up for every show, doing their clips, putting it out there, and I'm like, oh, or the worst is like after your set, you're on stage, you might have just got your closer just hit, people are clapping, hey, this boy crazy, and then you gotta, all right, everybody, time for a plug. So and then you spell out your name. There's definitely people out there that's way better than that than me, but it's a part of the job. I'm not good at it, but there's people out there that's good at it. But yeah, I'm like, know your role. Don't be ashamed. I'm saying this out loud to myself because I've definitely felt some kind of way when somebody takes a leadership role, and I'm like, who do they think they is, or why are they in the room talking to another decision maker, and I don't get to be in that room. You just don't. Like, you know what I mean? Why was Michael Jordan doing Wheaties commercials and Ron Harper was at home playing table tennis? You know what I mean? Like, but Ron Harper got a ring at the end of the day, bro. Exactly. He's a world champion basketball player. Like, know your role, and don't be so quick to point at other people and be like, well, why this and why that? Because you're right. Like, somebody who's good at admin, nobody's sitting there. They think there's like a whole bunch of shine and glitz and glamour with being a leader, but it also comes with the most headaches. The most stress.
It's a unglamorous position. I think, like my son, his name is Prometheus, and Prometheus was like a Greek god, and he gave fire to mankind. And Zeus didn't like that because like people started worshiping the fire. Zeus wanted them to worship him, so he punishes Prometheus by tying him against a mountain and having a fucking big ass hawk eat his spleen out every day for like eternity. And I named my son this because it's like doing the right thing often has no reward. It's often detrimental, and you have to do it anyway. Like Prometheus knew that was going to happen. He had the gift of foresight. Like he knew, like if I do, he's like, but if I don't, these people are going to die. Yeah, and that's what I always kind of looked at it like. And it also sucks. I really dealt with this thing last year of like wanting revenge. Yeah, had a couple things happen. And I'm like, I want to hurt this person.
Fair enough.
Like like I said, we were in the military. I'm a little like, no. I think sometimes like some motherfuckers got to get punched in the mouth. Yeah, and just having to like let that shit go. Yeah, because it doesn't spawn anything but more problems. Nah. You know?
And that kind of karma coming back is crazy. I be wondering too, like in that Prometheus story, after like year like 937, do you think he's just like, oh no, the bird? Yeah. Oh, it's eating me. This is so.
He was probably happy to see it. Like that's the only nigga he's
in my only
all
friend.
Day. Yeah. Here come Charlie, nigga.
Hold on. So for Rob, question, man, can you speak to whether this affected you, whether you see it affect anybody else, or just your insight on it? The PTSD, because you said that you were civilian police and military police. Can you speak to like the PTSD or the mental, like the mind state of when you're in and when you transition out of being in the police force, whether that's military or civilian?
Well, I didn't really have any PTSD. Like for like when we were still at the gate. You know what I'm saying? Just checking IDs. I guess the only PTSD, or like you saying like as I got out, like explain yourself. I ain't trying to figure out how to answer.
This nigga said explain yourself.
I'm trying to figure
we on dangerous ground right now. Hey, hold on, man. Back your words up. Nah,
I'm going the wrong. I don't want to answer it the wrong way.
No. Well, I'm saying so. I mean, the and PTSD might have been the wrong word, and I didn't mean to force that on you if it's wrong. But I mean, just the literal acronym: post-traumatic stress, disorder. And if you're in a police force, right, there's whether that's military or on the civilian side, depending on what it is that you're seeing or what you're a part of, I mean that can cause stress. Right. I ended up learning there's a particular kind of stress. They have a name for it, for the stress that you're put under when you're in basic training. That causes like all those reactions. Because I don't know about y'all, but we ended up discovering like 3 weeks in that none of us had done a number 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody go through that.
You just figure it out one day. Everybody's like, "Hey, when was the last time you took a shit?" Yeah. Like, man, it's been a minute. Yeah. But not like was there anything traumatic that you ended up feeling like you had to deal with?
Like, okay, so one of my second.
And you don't have to speak about it.
My second deployment, right? We was in Afghanistan and we were working in the prison. Not the prison, but like they was detainees. They weren't prisoners. They just detaining people and then question them about the Taliban. Shit like that.
Detaining everybody too.
So it was like sometimes we would obviously that's traumatic in itself. Just being around like these people could have had a bomb on them and they could have blew, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now they in the prison, and they could have tried to kill Americans. They could have killed, you know what I'm saying, the soldiers out there. They had, but it was like a couple days out of the week that I would work in the infirmary, and it was people that the bombs did go off, and they didn't have legs, they didn't have arms, and they just laying in, you know what I'm saying, whatever the military brought them in, and we just sitting there watching them. They can't do nothing, but it has to be like a armed guard there to make sure. Yeah. I don't know if they get up and leave. They can't. They ain't have limbs.
You gotta fight the dead, nigga.
Right, exactly.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
So it's I guess sometimes I think about that type of stuff, and it's like a lot of the things that I did, like as I got out, and just being and it's a lot of stuff that was in the prison, like. They hated America. They hate black people. For some reason, they was cool with black people. They hated white males and women, of course, because you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
You know, so they'd throw piss on us and that shit. Like they ain't throw piss on me because I'm black. They was like, hey, you, like kind of like one of us. But like they hated the white people. So eventually, like I don't know. I just thought as I got out and I looked at more of religion. I just did more meditation. Okay. To like kind of like not even. It's just a part of my life now. I don't really trip on stuff that I probably would visualize and can't get out of my head from the military type of deal.
Do you remember at any point in time, man, you'd be like, I plead the fifth, just switch the subject, use your finesse. Right. But at that time period, when you're seeing like the detainees and what have you, is your view like a hey, I'm on the Chicago Bulls and that's the Detroit Pistons, or is it like, you know, that's the other side, that's the opposition, that's they're out to get me? Is there like
I never looked at I mean, even as a kid, man, I never looked at like you know what I'm saying, people just because it's an opposition of war. I'd probably be that person if we was in war that, you know what I'm saying, probably let somebody, like, it's one-on-one battle. I'll probably be like, look, dude, we ain't really got to fight, bro. Let me say, ain't nobody watching, no superiors watching right now. If
when you guard your homie on pickup.
Right.
Like, hey, nigga, don't be doing all that running.
Right, exactly. Like, I never thought about it like that. Like, I've always looked at people as just people. Like, same. I just love everybody.
Yeah, when I was over there, I thought the same shit. Like, there's probably a 24-year-old version fighting for the Taliban that just got caught up in that shit and probably like, man, I don't even want to do this shit.
Just woke up in that neighborhood.
Yeah. So I never looked at it like that, but I also looked at it like, damn. I remember like within the first week, I made the decision like, if it's me or you, it's gonna be you. Like I'm not gonna like, I'm anti. Like no, like if I have to kill a nigga out here, like, but that's what I'm gonna have to do.
I learned something when I was in that prison though. Like majority of them can't read or write. So like most
not
of
even
them,
in like Arabic or their own language?
They can't they can't read or write. So like they have the Quran. That's what they, you know what I'm saying, they die and they get the 7 virgins and all this stuff, and they supposed to be dying for like their religion. But they don't even know how to read, so they don't understand their religion. So it's like they come into this facility and it's the first time they even seen a Quran. It's the first time they ever sat down with like a religious leader. It's like
mom.
Yeah, that's sitting down talking to them and telling them what the religion is. It's like, so these people, like, they fighting and they don't have really a true understanding of anything. They just poor.
Shit, we was the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say the same thing about us. We just poor. When we go over there, we don't have a true understanding what the mission is.
What we doing?
Like they said, you know what they said for us? We're winning. It was coin operation. You're supposed to go out there and win the hearts and minds. What the fuck does that mean? In a war where you're fighting with missiles and guns. Imagine you play fucking Call of Duty and like, I'm about to go out here and win the hearts and minds of these people, nigga. You'd be 0 kills,
these racist
57 deaths.
15-year-olds.
What are you talking about? So I think it's the same thing. Like, it's what I said earlier at the top. It's just rich, powerful people getting poor people who don't understand, filling their head with a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. With us, it's this whole for your country, terrorism. You know what I mean? Protect your country. You know, become this fucking Superman's man. And for them, it's the 7. They got a better deal. Actually, they got for real. So 7 versions. You live forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This whole religious thing. They're actually fighting. I thought for a more worthy cause, even if it's all a lie.
Right. Yeah.
Than what we're fighting for. I was fighting for a fucking Charger, nigga.
Man, my first car was a Pontiac Sunfire. That was real suspect.
Yeah, it was real suspect. That was tough. That's a
I think
baby mama
it was a
car.
1997 white 2-door.
Not
and
white.
I think Buddy ass got me for like 12 racks.
Dang.
Oh, I was brand new. I didn't know nothing. My APR must have been crazy.
Right, exactly. You probably paid $20,000 for that.
It was a Rizzy rap. I'm like 18 years old.
Pontiac probably went out of business right
I was the
after
last
that
one
year.
keeping the
Yeah,
last
that
one.
was the
And
last
we still got
car
one
they
nigga
sold.
paying off the Sunfire.
It's white. It's white too. All right,
We
I'll
still
take
in
it.
business.
Hey, hey, what's his annual? 328%. He paid on this until 2080. Nah, did you ever see anybody that ended up? So I mean, let's keep it a buck. All 3 of us was in the Air Force, AKA to other branches, the Chair Force.
Right.
As far as stress goes, a lot of people would consider us to be in one of the lower levels of stress as far as being in battle zones, frontline positions, things of that nature.
I think we were just unique in our jobs because in the Air Force, security forces
Ends up going to the sandbox and doing those.
They're
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
of the only combat like jobs that there is in the Air Force.
Absolutely.
Other than like the PJs. So my first deployment was in South America. Like we stayed in hotels. But my second deployment, we were attached to the Army unit. So it was an Army base.
Yeah.
We were the only. So that shit, I think like you said, most of the time it is, and I think that's the assumption, and that was my assumption too. That's what sucked about going to Afghanistan, because it was like, imagine being in for 5 years, you kicking it. I'm going to work drunk. I'm fucking bitches on ladies' night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm having a time of my life. They're like,
Hey, bro.
You ready to go to this
It's your
war?
time. It's your time.
War? Who, me, nigga?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can't
game
shoot
now.
nobody now.
Yeah.
And you know it's bullshit at this time. You want me to kill not today?
Right.
Yeah.
Not today.
Right now?
I'm not ready.
Now.
I don't even remember all the shit you
Yeah.
about. What are you talking about? And that was like crazy. And I was like, man, I'm like literally going to war like as my job. And it like as a mercenary, and I'm not even getting paid like good merc money.
Yeah.
Like that's when it really fucking hit me. Like I might have to kill somebody or see something I don't want to see. Do something I don't want to do for this cause I know is debunked. Like this is nuts. After that, I was like, nah, I gotta get out. Like, I can't take that chance
so
again.
the gray area when it comes to like in no way, shape, or form am I down in our military wars we've been in as a country or any of that, because it's, I mean, what was that movie? What, War is Hell? Like,
It's dirty. Like,
and I can't speak from a position of knowing what it's like, but for every nation, for all time that there's been all these wars, man, I mean, that good versus evil thing is right out the window, and it's like, it's just so much that goes on, and it's wild. And then the participants, I mean, you go back to the cats that was in Vietnam, and they come back, and then while they was out there doing all that, whole time the country was back here like, nah, I don't like this, it's bogus.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get back, I'm gonna let you know it, And it's it gets taken out on the warriors, not the war, but it gets taken out on the warriors a lot. Have you? I mean, people obviously break under that stress, but did you ever see anybody break under the like the military stress in any aspect, whether it was basic, serving, being over in the sandbox?
Shit, fucking. When I got out of, I had to call this nigga one time because when I started doing mics, I feel like I was transitioning out of being out of the military.
Yeah,
and it was something I'm not proud of but I'm proud of. I did it. I'm proud of the experience. I'm proud of the friends I made. It's something I hold dear. And a lot of these white boys, that's their punchline. Oh, fucking, like, especially when I first started in like 2017, it was like fun to shit on the soldiers, fun to shit on like, oh, they're idiots, blah, blah, blah. And then comedians just do little petty shit that in the military you can just fight and it be like two niggas who are friends or you can tussle with a nigga and not be like, oh my God, he's violent.
Yeah. I got a dude right now. When I told you I used to run with a wild group, there's a dude I got to this day. I haven't seen him in 20 years, 22 years. If I see him, I'm swinging on him. Before we get to the barbecue, before we get to the, hey, man, hey, good to see you. Do you got kids or whatever? I'm swinging on him. We've had 2 fights. This is one of my friends. He was the guy I got called back to be a character witness for. We got in 2 fights. I won the first one. He won the second one. Ain't sat right with me ever since 1998, bro. So
That's a long-ass beef,
like
nigga.
1999, I've been beefing with this dude. So yeah. Like when you're in the
Gotta break the
military,
tie, man.
different set of rules than
Yeah.
when you in the yeah.
So I think I've really had to adjust. Like, all right, I can't smack one of these niggas now because I'm gonna be banned from every mic and every show.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I be like, well, this nigga did this, or it's not gonna matter. And I think that was a really hard adjustment. And I feel like people would test me. Or at least I felt like that. Maybe they weren't testing me. We're all on our own, blah, blah, blah. I would be like, oh, this nigga testing me.
Yeah.
And I had to learn like that there's 2 sets of rules and it's not like that out here. You can't act like that.
And I'm not even like I stopped drinking a little while back, and I think that was a lot of for me personally because I'm not I'm not Joe Tough. I'm not out there a start fight guy. I'm not a bully in any way. But I used to get in a bunch of scuffles and whatnot, and like no, that's not the arena that you're in when you're in the comedy world or the entertainment business. I mean, it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're that guy that swings on somebody in the green room, like in the moment it'll be like, oh man, you get some pub, but then
immediately after,
immediately after,
and even for myself, like. We're grown. I got kids. Like
I'm grown.
That's so fucking so
it's
something you have to bottle up. It's more some people are so scummy in this shit. We got some real it's a different level of scumbag because with other jobs there's an HR.
Yeah.
There's a code of some kind of even at McDonald's it's like, nah, nigga, you have to come in at 8.
That's what I'm saying. But you're talking about some people are scummy like. That's like saying, man, when I go work at McDonald's, I come back home smelling like burgers and fries. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. You're in the entertainment business.
But I think that's some of the problem. Like we was talking about Diddy earlier.
Yeah.
And it's just this thing that is always perpetuated throughout time. Like, nigga. It was like once upon a time, white people would spit on us. And we'd be like, yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
It don't have to be like that.
In the entertainment business?
Especially at this level. No, especially in the entertainment. Think about it. Think about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Entertainment. We just why we gotta suck dick to tell jokes? This is absurd.
You don't. I mean, you definitely
crazy.
gotta watch out for landmines. But there's too much money in this game at the highest levels for it not to be. Nah, ain't no straight and narrows. Open mics ain't even straight and narrow, and there's no money involved. There's $10 in a drink ticket involved.
That's what I'm saying. It speaks to human nature. It's
yeah.
more this wanting to have a perceived power and place and stature over. It's just posturing. And that's what I liked about the military is it kind of took a lot of that away. Hey, nigga, in 3 years, you going to be this next rank as long as you don't fuck up. And that's how we're going to do this. We're going to give you a little pay bump, and you ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than you, because we'll kill all you niggas. We don't give a fuck about none of you. I appreciated that basic level. And this shit, it's like Game of Thrones. This dude is doing. It's like, nigga, I'm just trying to tell jokes.
Yeah,
but you can't fight nobody, though.
I had a regular dream in this motherfucker. Now I'm playing. I gotta set up these cameras. I gotta do social media. I gotta smooth with these people. It's like, no, man. I just wanted to get my jokes off, make my little movies.
Yeah,
something so pure turns into something so like ugly. Corrupted, and over something so silly. These are. I'm not trying to be president. I understand all the backstabbing. I'm trying to get the jokes off.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. It's so weird. I think people make it so weird and it doesn't. I don't necessarily think it has to be. I know it is like that. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has to be like that. I think we're making it. We start acting weird at a very small level. Like you said, even open mics.
Yeah.
You start posturing. There's no money involved. It's just because of stature. It's like high school. You want to hang out with the cool kid. It's like, nigga, just who gives a fuck?
So I think, to your point, why there's probably that dichotomy is because in the military, for the most part, the overall theme of the military is everything's written down. Everything has a directive. Everything has a guideline, a follow-up, a book, a huge binder where they can go F13 line 7 says that you got to do yes sir, no sir, and all that. Here, it's a full-blown heroin addict that's a millionaire that's controlling the strings that could get you to the top of your game. Like, what rules is that person following when there is no rules?
No
Steve
morals.
Jobs. The reason I got this phone in my pocket right now is because Steve Jobs used to sit on the beach eating a sandwich on LSD and acid. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when you're on the cutting edge of those kinds of things.
In this shit too is like, I'm a comedian because I don't want no rules on me. So it's like I'm complaining about what you know what I mean. I understand exactly the catch-22 of it. Like, I could just live a normal life, follow some rules, things would be more mapped out, more predictable. But it's also like I like the freedom and I like the unpredictability of it. Even though being a comedian, you don't know if your jokes are gonna hit. You don't know what the room's gonna be like. Yeah. What other comedians are gonna say? Who's gonna be there? I like all of that.
There was a point in time where I hopped out of comedy. So I got back into comedy during the pandemic. Like, as soon as the pandemic hit, I was like, oh, was this for me? Oh my God. Like, everybody had to stop comedy so I can the double dutch stop. I can go back and catch the rhythm. But before that, I had taken a 3.5 year break where I was just trying to square up, and my alcohol at the time was like its peak. That was right when I was scraping the absolute bottom. But I was like, I'm gonna square up in the job that I had at the time, and I went for a promotion. Now, mark you, at this moment, I don't have entertainment aspirations and goals, so I'm trying to put my focus on the 9 to 5, the square gig. And I went for a promotion, and I had to go into the office and do the performance. Yeah. And like right then, and when you're in the plan phase, when you're like, man, I'm gonna have my 1 hour special, your dreams go to the max. There's no limitation. But when it's actual time to put rubber to the road and you start thinking about logistics and all that, that's when it hits you. So when I'm like, man, I gotta get this promotion. All right. I go sit in the office. As soon as I sit in the office, I'm sitting next to these people, these two supervisors. I've gone out, got drunk with these people. We shoot the shit with these people, and I'm just regular, low level, whatever I am. And, they're supervisors, but our personal relationship is cool. Mm-hmm. When it was time for me to sit in that office with them, and then they had the official "I'm better than you" badge on. Yeah. And what is it that you would like from me, servant? Yeah. And I had to and I was like, oh shit, I gotta perform for y'all. And they was like looking through all my numbers and this and that, and we had the whole and tell me about your thing, and I wanted to go. Nigga, stop! You know me! You know me! I seen you, bro! I seen you throwing up in the fucking trash.
I seen your asshole.
What you talking about, nigga?
We fucked that bitch together.
We fucked that midget bitch
together. You smoke ass together. Like, what are you doing? You ate the rest of my cereal. Like, what are you doing right now? Is there a camera on us, bro? What the fuck is this?
Punk? Nigga, stop playing with me.
So we do the whole performance thing. And then at the very, very end, they was like, so can you tell us what it is about you that makes you a better choice over all the other candidates? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm me.
Yeah, we kick it, nigga.
No, I literally just said, I'm me. Yeah. And they started laughing. And I was like, all right.
Dead ass
I gotta laugh. My closer hit. I'm out of here. Didn't get the position. But I realized going through that motion, I was like, I don't want like that, because I still ended up having to perform.
Yeah, do the monkey dance for them. And at least on stage, you're saying what you want to say.
Exactly.
At work, you got to do a monkey dance, and it's just, oh yeah, I love it here, and I really want to do this job, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, bro, I'd rather fucking die than do this shit, bro.
And I'm not taking away from anybody in corporate America that's climbing the ladder and going through. There's some
everybody
people
likes to do different things, and if some
Yeah.
people use their job as a means to live the life that they want to live,
Yeah.
and I respect that. And I honestly think that if I didn't have this talent that I have, that I would be able to do that. That's
Yeah,
what I would
yeah.
be doing. But I do have this, and I also have this huge thing where I want to rebel against any kind of constraints on me. I don't want nobody to ever be able to tell me what to do. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, even if it's at the detriment of myself sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
I'm more than positive there's an Uber driver out there making a decent amount more money than me, and I got a 9 to 5, and I get checks out of comedy. But there's somebody out there that's disciplined, that's doing 10, 12 hours a day, knows all the spots, knows all the
the ins and outs. Got 4 apps open,
and I don't look at him as like, I don't get an Uber and like, ugh, dirty little Uber driver. I'm like, all right, like it is what it is.
Everybody's needed.
Yeah.
We need, like, that's what I like to, going back to the military thing again, like that's what I liked about it is you realize that every job is needed. Every job connects to another job that connects to like we couldn't do our job if these niggas didn't pave this road.
Yeah.
If these motherfuckers didn't open up the chow hall, we wouldn't have food to eat. If these people didn't electric, this place, we wouldn't have lights. Like, it made me appreciate everybody. And I think what's missing in the civilian world, we don't have that. We have like a caste system. You see a nigga working at McDonald's, you're like, ew. You see a motherfucker working over here, you know what I mean? I think I go through that, just that judgment about careers or, financial status is very real in the civilian world. And I think it's kind of, I don't know, that's taken out of the equation. What I'm trying to say is I'm a communist, nigga. For communism,
I mean,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. We get some robots to be in charge of it or something. Make
How
sure
long?
it's fair.
How long you been on the road, Rob?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
All right, man. This is Rob of all trades ass nigga.
Yeah,
what's the
yes.
I mean, what's that like?
I
Not truck driving, methamphetamines. Don't sit here and start lying. Ain't nobody staying up driving that long. No, wait.
I don't know, for some reason I got the discipline in me to do it. Like I've always loved driving.
No kidding.
I get like it's freeing to me.
What's that radio life like?
Like what I listen to, like
like the CB ain't like
I don't use that shit because I
you don't
wanna
tune in. Ain't that a part of the environment?
It is, but I don't want to listen to other truck drivers. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't,
Wait.
I don't
Truck
listen.
drivers got a radio where they all be talking.
They are the first group chat, bro.
My wife be wanting. Can we turn it on, please? I'm like, man, fuck them
Oh
niggas,
my God,
man.
them niggas got a Discord.
Like what are they? What's the typical
my God, I did not
everyday
know this.
conversation?
But I don't talk to the. I mean, they probably
8 years you never tuned
I've
in.
never turned that on. Only time I turn it on is like if I'm to get loaded or unloaded or something like that, and you have to talk to them through it. Be like, hey, I'm next in line or something like that. But I'm pretty sure they probably just talking about traffic and they probably talking shit to each other. I don't know, man. I don't want to listen to truck drivers, bro. I listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
I listen to my music. I fuck my wife all day. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never turn it on. Like, I literally it's just freeing to me be on the road, man.
You just feel like you're better than everybody else in traffic because you're 12 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I look at everybody with the most genuine smile on his face. Yeah.
Get out my way.
Basically.
Nah, I mean, I've done like years of meditation, and like when I'm on the road, like I can just like see the world for what it is. Like take all the billboards away, take all the roads away, and it's just trees and animals, and I just just feel like I'm free.
You mean like a deer jumping in the grill of your
I mean, I can.
This nigga's on LSD.
Right. I mean, that's just without the drugs. I don't.
purple trees.
Just
pink.
I
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know, I know no wild road stories. 8 years driving.
man, I don't know. For some reason, I'm not in that world because I usually go like a lot of the times I go to Planet Fitness at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I go work out or something.
I don't mean kicking it with the truck drivers at the gas station showers. I'm
think.
talking about you ain't never hit like a owl.
An owl.
Oh yeah, I have like me and my home. I was training a guy and we hit a deer. Not a deer. We hit a bear, like a baby bear.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I would have been afraid. Like, oh no, where's the mom?
Yeah, I ain't stopping.
And then one time I hit a deer. I hit a deer too, but it hit my.
I hit a couple of them.
I swerved out the way, so it just hit my back tire. So nothing. I don't know. I don't know crazy stories. Like when I was early, like I would still like go to the bars at the end of the night, and I still talk to girls, get a hotel room. But I never like fuck no lot lizard or nothing like that. They got like the little prostitutes at the truck
Glad
stops.
we put that out there.
Yeah, I ain't never did that.
I heard one of your nicknames was, what was it again?
Raw dog raw.
Like, but I would still.
That's why he couldn't have fucked the lot lizard. Cause like, I'll come in this.
Yeah, I might fuck my life.
Yeah, I might fuck my life up. I better not.
I don't know why, but I love you.
Yeah. He wouldn't say that.
But I would still talk to regular girl. I mean, go to a bar and meet regular women. Just have conversations and what happens.
Applebee's.
It sounds like he has the most dangerously undangerous life. Like, yeah, I was a cop a bunch of years, truck driver a bunch of years. Yeah. Man, what happened? Not too much. Right?
Not too much.
I was chilling.
I guess maybe for somebody else it might be crazy with the things I've been through. It might be crazy, but for me it's just perspective. It's just my life. I don't look at it like it's crazy. The things that I've been through, or maybe the things that's on the road. I've seen accidents. I've seen car. It was like I seen somebody hit the side of the road and flip over right beside me, and I was just able to get out the way. I've seen a lot of like stuff. But I guess it's like every day. It's always a near-death situation in the trucking industry. It's just like always somebody cutting you off or something. To me, it's just I just got perspective. It's like,
I'm not trying to sensationalize it, but you never been there on like your 13th hour on the road and you do.
I mean, sometimes I'll get into a moment where like I'm driving and I see double or something, and it's like at that point I'm just like, it's time to pull over.
This
like
sounds like a post-game interview for truckers.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know me, I just be locked in the zone. He's like, but Rob, you drove through 3 states. I've never been. Like, you know me, I just stay focused, mama mentality.
Right. So by the time I made it to Vermont, I knew that it was a lock. So I was able to relax into my role.
Exactly.
I started jackknifing in the first half, but I was able to correct.
I was getting tired. I ate 4 goldfish, had a sip of Gatorade, got back to it.
Thank you, Mama, and thank you, Monster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wish I had better perspective on it, where I could be like, man, that's some fucked up shit happened. I just don't.
No. I'm not TMZ.
Right.
I'm just asking. Like 8 years of anything. If you're 8 years in Baskin Robbins, I'm gonna ask you, what's the craziest thing you saw? Giving out ice cream,
right?
And I would imagine, somebody would be like,
with the Rocky Road,
yeah.
Nuts in the back. Grab a scoop of that Rocky Road, rub it on my dick, bitch. With the nuts and everything, the nuts and everything.
There has to be at least one story about a crackhead just pouring all the Skittles on top of it.
I guess I got to think about it. That's my craziest truck driver story. I really don't have one though. Like, I don't know.
No, yeah. You never like just open up the back of your truck and be like, how long all these Guatemalans been back here?
You would have made some money if you did that.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. What do you have good memories from the military?
I think now,
like the friendships, I love the friendships, man. Some of the aspects of the job, like I had a decent job, and just learning. I think people expecting you to do it. Like, hey, here's the mission, and it's the actual mission. And when you look at the overall big picture, you're like, I'm a part of the thing that's guarding America, and I play a role in that, whatever my role is. But I legitimately play a role, and people are like, yo, you got to do this because it's a part of the overall, like that did something for me at the time for sure. And then, made a lot of connections. A bunch of knuckleheads, man, but I definitely had good memories outside of just the partying part.
Yeah, I think for the most part my memories are good. Also because I'm looking at it, from rose-colored glasses, and it's been fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
When we was talking shit about that motherfucker every day.
Oh, for sure.
We hated it, but it was just a difference because you was like working all day with your friends, and then you get off work and kick it with them. it's something I would do again, but it's like not something I would want like my kids to do. You know, but I wouldn't change it. I'm happy I went through it, but I wouldn't like join up now or no shit like that.
Why do you think? I think it's with anything in the world. I mean, it's different than when we was in there. As far as from the stories that I hear, you know.
For sure.
Why would you say you wouldn't necessarily want your kids in
it? Just dying for no reason. You know what I mean? Dying for a cause you don't believe in, and you know. A lot of the bullshit and the skills aren't necessarily transferable. You think that you're to have all this pub when you get out the military, but it's like, oh, it's a big deal when you tell. No, they don't give a fuck. They look at you like you're crazy, like you're something else. It doesn't advance your career at all. So it's like 4 years of kind of throwing your life away for skills that you can't really use in the real world. I think it's just better to go to college or find a trade or just do whatever you're gonna do right away. You know, if that's what's gonna happen, unless we were at like some crazy ass war with like it's some World War III shit. Like, hey, if we don't join, they're gonna come over here. It's gonna happen. I think then it's like, you got to kind of do your duty.
Like an imminent threat.
Yeah. Imminent, crazy, world engaging threat. It's like, all right, I'm gonna join. So like, my wife and kids are fine.
I think it's been so long that there's been like a. Now, there's always a threat, right? There's always little sneak disses, you know what I mean? It's like real rap culture, world economic politics and all that stuff. You know, the sneak disses, little side stuff. The cell phone towers and internet connections, like on the broader East Coast, keep mysteriously going down. Like in the last 2 weeks, they just blip, and like 4 states lose their internet connections and whatnot. But there hasn't been a true imminent threat in America since basically 9/11, right. And it feels like the overall, because a lot of people is like, hey, we need to get out of this place. Why do we have so many military bases? Why are we in these other people's business? Why would do? And I don't know. I think the overall feeling from what I hear, especially in the entertainment comedy business, is like it's unfavorable when it comes to the military. But if there wasn't like a direct threat, like I would feel like, man, you know what? Like I'd want to be out there to an extent. I'm old as shit now. They're not knocking on my door. You know what I mean? But still, at the end of the day, like if it came down to like, hey, you got to get up there and go do something. Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right.
I guess we here.
Yeah. Man, that shit would suck. I started trying to run.
It would be so bad.
Immediately, I try to get into my old pants. They don't fit.
What? I'm on lap 1.5, pulling out my vape pen. Exactly.
I'm going to be shooting from the truck. If y'all need me, I'm going to be shooting from the truck.
Hey, let me save you some time, bro. I ain't even going to pee in that cup. Let me just tell you yes.
Yeah. I'm high
whatever
right now,
you looking for, it's there, man. Just assume. Mark the boxes now, you know?
Can we close out on this last story about the first time
please.
Rob got me high?
Okay.
While we were in the military.
Yeah.
So this nigga, because I was kind of like in the military, I was kind of a square for a long time because, like I said, I was believing all that U.S. Air Force shit.
Yeah.
And this nigga was selling weed and growing weed, but I ain't know. And they were
that's
about that shit.
Yeah.
So they were smoking, and there was a group of them, and I was like, "Why are these niggas always drinking cranberry juice?"
Yeah,
but it wasn't telling me.
Oh, right? I remember that.
So there was this group of girls that it was like 4 of them to an apartment. That it was like a black one, a white one, a Native American one. We used to call them the whole triplets. And the Native American one, I've been trying to fuck for the longest time, but I was just kept on acting goofy around her. She was not trying to have it.
Yeah.
So Rob gets me high, and I'm acting goofy. Like I'm laughing, and my tongue is vibrating, and I'm like,
you hadn't been high in a minute.
I haven't been high like ever. Like the first time I was ever high was
first
16.
Time geek. Okay.
And then 6 years later, like, all right. So I'm high as fuck, and this nigga take me to Chipotle. He's like, you gotta relax. You have to. And he's having like a serious, like, it felt like in training day when Denzel was talking to Hoyt. You know what I mean? He was like, "You gotta relax. You gotta pull yourself together. You acting too goofy, dog." And I got my head out the window, and I got like he's like, "I'm trying to get on this."
I ain't put a gun to your head and make you smoke it.
Yeah, I got the wind hitting my face and shit. So we get to these girls' house, and immediately Rob take the white girl to the back, and he is killing this bitch. It's like a murder scene. You can hear the, and she's just, she being extra about it. And I'm so high that I'm like not saying anything. And the other girl, like the Native American girl, she's like, "Why are you being shy today?" Like she's like, "You're being so mysterious." And I'm just high as fuck, like
missed out on your.
No. We fucked because I was playing the role she wanted me to play. I finally shut the fuck up, but it was only because I was high in my head.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome. Got me the cheeks.
Man, please, Jamal. As a matter of fact, let's start with you, Rob. Did you have anything out there that you got coming up? Anything you want to tell the fine viewers at home?
Man, just
anybody that needs your truck services, your security services.
Yeah. Both of them.
Be securing shit.
This nigga gonna be in Fast 12.
Yeah, this nigga I got busy. I can get busy pants on right now.
Yeah, you do.
I'm ready for anything,
Right.
man.
He stretched before we got in here. I was like, what you stretching for?
I got 11 pockets, man. You don't know what's in none of them.
the trucking business.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't got nothing going on, man. Just me and my wife on the road, loving life, man. I just tell
put that out there,
yeah,
man.
just everybody.
This nigga in love. Love me and my wife.
Hey, man.
Just want everybody to know.
Nothing new,
That sound like a dope ass SoundCloud song, man. Me and my wife on the road, loving everything.
Hey. Yeah, nothing new, man. Just be safe.
All
man.
right. And Rob is promoting meditation, man.
Yeah, meditation, man, and religion, man. Love everybody.
And these hoes.
Spread love, man. Spread love.
How did you, real quick, before we get to Jamal, how did you get into, what was your path into meditation? If you had to tell somebody, if you had to tell yourself 10 years ago how to get into meditation, what would be the first step?
Man, the first step is just like, don't overthink it. A lot of people think, like, when you meditating, your thoughts are just going to stop. But the main thing about meditation, your thoughts are still going to be there, and you just sit there in your thoughts without reacting to them. And it helps you in your everyday life where you feel like you want to go crazy or this or that, and maybe not. That's my perspective. You asked me these questions about perspective. My perspective is like, I ain't make crazy shit happens. Like, and through my meditation, it just gave me the perspective of like, man, this is life. We just living, and just enjoy yourself, man. Like, and I guess the main thing is just to get into it is not when you sit down for the first time and all these thoughts are going, and just realize that's normal. You're going to have all your thoughts consistently. They are never going to go away. But through doing that, like, you can tame your mind. Like right now, without meditation, your mind is like an untamed animal, just in the wild. But like through meditation, you can sit and you can be at peace. And that's what I got.
That's fire, man. Man, you need to write Eat, Pray, Love, too.
Niggas a fucking Buddhist.
Pretty much.
Man, that's fire. Jamal, man, please tell the people how they can find you, your socials, anything you got coming up you want to promote, and please tell people where they can go watch your silly ass reels, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm at Jamal Guichon. I don't know what camera I'm looking at. I'm just looking into the abyss.
Just fill it into your heart, man.
No, I'm just at JamalGuichon.com. At Jamal Guichon on Instagram. I got some shows coming up. I got some more reels and shit I'm about to release. I got this whole movie trailer thing I've been working on. So yeah, man.
Oh, can I shout out my wife's business, Teasers?
Yeah, you missed your chance.
Okay,
But anyway,
well,
I've been like, no.
You're right. That's my opportunity.
That window is closed. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Get home and meditate on it, nigga. No. And then please shout it out, and we'll have any kind of media that you got, flyers or whatever that's gonna be playing right, while you're talking about it. So please give a shout out.
It's just Teasers Pole. Teasers Pole Dance Studios. There you go.
Okay.
I felt so uncomfortable saying
because
that.
I'm trying to figure.
Pole.
Okay. Can you speak on it at all? Because that says a lot and says a little at the same time.
Like, want me to expound on her business or like?
You gotta. I mean, elevator pitch, bro. You trying to get people involved?
Hey, can she get on?
Can she? She certainly can if she would like.
And it's, you know what I'm saying?
We can AI her in later.
Dancing, that's it. I have a dance studio.
Dance studio.
Yeah, there you go.
Fire. Dance studio. She teaches pole dancing, and as long as she has some media, or if she, has a flyer or whatever, that's gonna be playing at the
Myrtle
same
Beach,
time.
South Carolina. Teachers Pole Dance Studios.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There we go. All right. And on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get all that going. There's a whole lot, man. For a last little second thing.
Yeah, that's
man,
what I just say. I ain't about to shout out my TikTok. I don't care about that.
Nah, you good. Once again, Mike Knight Comedy on all the things. And I appreciate the subscriber base is growing. Please like, share, subscribe even more. I'm going to keep these clips coming, keep these episodes coming. And got some special guests coming up. It's not all just gonna be comedians, so man, get ready for some big surprises. I've been Mike Knight. Need some fire ass guests, and stay tuned for more, man. Real Rap Podcast. Love y'all. Peace.
Yippee!